So we're gonna grill bruschetta on the big green egg. Fresh tomatoes, basil, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, some fresh bread, and it's delicious. All right, so shout out to my buddy Alex Nifong, who showed me how to do this a few years ago. Great guitar player, even better cook, even better friend. Okay, so here's what we do first. We want to get our tomatoes marinating. So I've got these little cherry bomb. What is this white stuff on my hand?
I think it's fine.
It's mostly fine. Was I painting?
Have you been baking bread?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
All right, well, anyway. We're going to get our tomatoes going here, and won't make you watch all these, but we just want to half them.
There we go. That's a great cut.
All right, so we've got our tomatoes and garlic going in here.
Let me see.
Come on.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
For some reason, my hand is white.
I don't get it.
Yeah, all right. All right, now we've got our basil, and I'm going to get this chopped up as good as I can, which may not be as good as you can, but... Anyway, I'm just going to get after it here. Bunch it up.
Did you call it garlic or basil?
I don't know.
Okay.
This is basil. I'll
play it back later. We'll figure it out.
I'm going to put basil in with the tomatoes. All right.
Beep.
All right, so we've got our tomatoes, garlic, and basil in here. And now I've got some balsamic vinegar. And I'm going to drizzle in some balsamic vinegar. You can use however much you want. This is kind of freestyle here. Just whatever you like. And then we have some olive oil. And I want to basically cover up these tomatoes. Put in our balsamic, and now we're going to put in our olive oil, and we want to cover up the tomatoes basically. So we've got balsamic and olive oil and basil, little garlic, and we're just going to be really generous with the olive oil. Cover it up so these tomatoes can marinate in there a little bit, and we'll go with a little cracked pepper. Looks pretty good. A little salt. And then I like to throw in too a couple of pinches of sugar to cut off on some of the I don't know, bitterness, or no, it's it cuts on the acidity.
Oh.
So let's see how this looks. I'll get my spoon and give it a stir. Do a little more balsamic, and then we're gonna be good. And we'll get moving on to the bread. You can make this tomato mixture ahead of time. The longer it sits in, you might want to wait to put the basil in if it's like a long time, but the longer the tomatoes are able to sit in the garlic and balsamic and olive oil, salt and pepper, it makes a difference. It tastes really good. All right, so we're done with our tomatoes, so I'm gonna set them aside. Over here. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Next, we're gonna get our bread. Okay, so this bread is like a baguette but bigger. So, and it works because I don't want the tomatoes to fall off like a little baguette. So you get like an Italian loaf or something like that. And now we're gonna slice it up, and I'm gonna do some slices kind of sideways. Oh, Lynn, will you go in, buddy? Have our bread, and I'm gonna slice it. I'm gonna slice it like this. Want to get some good, fairly thick slices, and we're gonna toast them up.
It's a great sound.
It's
a great sounding bread.
You gotta pay extra for that. Man, my left-handedness really just baffles me sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
The world's not made for you.
It's really not. It's like I feel like I'm about to just cut my finger off because I'm left-handed. Like don't know how to tie shoes.
I feel a little unsafe when I'm standing.
All right, so we're about ready to go ahead and toast this bread. The first thing I'm going to do, I got a spoon, you can use a brush. I'm just going to drizzle a little olive oil over the bread. And it'll just kind of help crisp it up a little bit. All right, so we're ready to put the bread on. So I'm direct heat on the big green egg, and these are not gonna stay on for long. So not even gonna close the grill. We're just gonna toast them. And I know this isn't like steak or something, but it just turns out awesome. So I want you to be able to make this at your house. And it's super easy and it's delicious. All right. You can already kind of hear the bread sizzling a little bit because of the oil. I'll just place these oil side down on the grates. And in a few seconds here, really, we're gonna start flipping it. If I was smart, I'd probably use something other than a hand.
I think you do it with your hand.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I love seeing the little bit of the char on the bread. It means it's toasting really well. And it's almost done. Kind of move that piece over there. Sometimes you just got to find the hot spots on the grill and move it around a little bit. So I'll do that here. Find a better spot for these guys. Same here. And here. I'll move these out of the way a little bit because they got pretty well toasted. Great, so this bread is looking awesome, and just a few seconds on the other side because we don't want to turn these into a cracker. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them off. Right. So here's our bread. It's looking nice and toasty. And while the bread is still hot, I'm gonna hit it with some Parmesan cheese. All right, so we are almost done here. So our tomatoes have been marinating for a little while. Kind of scoop some out, make sure I don't have too much oil that's coming down with the tomatoes, and it'll just go right over the top, just like that. Make sure you got a few good tomatoes, some basil, a little bit of oil on the slices of bread. It'll just sit like that. All right, so our bruschetta is ready. Last step, I'm just gonna double up on the cheese and grate some more right over the top of everything, because who doesn't like good Parmesan cheese?
I could find somebody.
I bet you could. Bet they wouldn't be Italian though.
That's true.
Boom. And that's it. Grilled bruschetta. We only grilled the bread, but hey, it's really good. Should we eat some?
Yeah.
All right. Yep, I love it. It's still good.